Don't you want to see your grandchild anymore? Harry threatened King Charles when he decided to kick Harry and his wife out of Frogmore Cottage. I think this incident made them very bitter and heartless. That's why Harry and Meghan are using many methods to trick King Charles into returning to enjoy royal life after facing so many difficulties in America. Okay, to better understand the story, let's start exploring with me. Let's go! Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's eviction from Frogmore Cottage last year sparked much controversy and mixed reactions. This is not simply a family matter within the British royal family, but is also a signal of deep divisions and disagreements in how to handle and treat those members who have left the royal role. High level. The fact that they still retain Frogmore Cottage but are not allowed to use it during visits shows discrimination and unfairness in royal management, even though the king once recognized them as part of the family. Harry's hurtful response to his father points to a fractured family relationship and a loss of trust. It's not uncommon for Harry to ask, "Dad, don't you want to see your grandchild anymore?" is not only a bitter question, but also a profound criticism of the family's response to change and the decisions that have been made. This causes controversy and division,
especially when one member of the royal family publicly criticizes the decisions of other members.
Harry and Meghan's prohibition of members of the royal family from meeting their children is an information strategy to impose personal wishes. This action is not only an unethical use of family affection, but also a clear expression of irresponsibility and greed in handling family matters. Harry and Meghan using their children as a tool to blackmail or coerce other members of the royal family is disturbing and objectionable. This caused a lot of controversies and negative reactions from public opinion because it shows how much disrespect there is for family relationships and the basic values of solidarity and love. Instead of solving the problem through sympathy and communication, they chose to use their children as a strategic tool, which caused deep public shame and criticism. Harry and Meghan's actions are not only an expression of thoughtlessness and uncivilized acceptance, but also a clear sign of greed and inhumanity in the way they treat family matters. Family. This highlights the stupidity, selfishness, and arbitrariness of their decisions, and raises questions about the injustice and unfairness of how they handle family relationships and humanitarian issues. What a liar. According to people who know the royal family, there are those who claim they have never seen or met Harry and Meghan's two children. The Photoshop photo at the christening, although it has attracted attention, once again raises questions about the reliability and authenticity of what is published by the media about the royal family. Both she and Prince Philip wore the same clothes, posed the same, and had the exact same expressions as when they were photographed at the show. How long will the lies continue to end? But I think the statement from the Sussex spokesman about being asked to leave is completely unfounded. If they have a lease and comply with the conditions, no one can evict them. Harkle's media campaign clearly hopes that if they continue to appear frequently and repeat their efforts, the public will lose the ability to distinguish between real and fake. As for Harry's supposed statement to his father, "Dad, you don't want to see your grandchildren anymore?" It can be said that this sentence is very confusing and somewhat impolite. Has he seen his grandchildren? These words do not seem to reflect concern for family members other than Doria. It can be argued that these words are just a way to find ways to expand for private purposes and steal attention. Thus, the Falcons, or those who have been on duty for Sussex, seem to be trying to take advantage of everything to achieve their own goals. This can be understood as an attempt to push back against the criticism and opposition they are facing from the public and members of the royal family. Harry and Meghan should be ashamed of themselves and stop bothering the royal family. Harry's actions not to meet with his father and other members of the royal family during recent visits, coupled with Meghan's family's stay in the U.S., raise deep questions about the rifts and disagreements in the relationship. Family relationship. This action can be seen as a strong protest against regulations and restrictions that they feel are unfair and unacceptable. My aunt's daughter prevented her from seeing her 3 grandchildren for 8 years. She told me that her heart was broken and she was forced to move on with her life. Even though the pain was always present, I feel for King Charles, but at least he has 3 other beautiful grandchildren to love and care for. His situation is not exactly the same as my aunt's, but the pain and frustration of not being able to be close to loved ones are no different. When Harry stops wearing rose-colored glasses and stands up to see the truth, he will see that Meghan is truly a family wrecker. As long as Harry remains bewitched by Meghan's charms and false promises, the relationship between him and his father and brother will never be repaired. Meghan has gradually broken important relationships in Harry's life, turning him into a lonely person, separated from his family and friends. But when it comes to this, many people will laugh and wonder which one. They are invisible. If Harry and Meghan want everyone to like them, then why are they never seen? People said they had never seen these children at the Montecito house, so it makes you wonder what's going on. But that's how they maintain interest. Use their mysterious children to keep them relevant? We just like a good laugh, because they have become a laughingstock. I think this is all we know now about these two. They will use the children to gather more information to use against the family. William, knowing his younger brother so well, certainly knows for sure what he is capable of now. I don't think it's a wedge to return to the family, but a wedge to take advantage of the family more for their own purposes. Sad, but that seems to be their way of making money these days. Do you think being sent away caused Harry and Meghan to have a heartbreaking reaction? The prince's bitterness had no end. If you want to be heartbroken, you must have a heart! I think Harry has proven without a doubt that he has no heart. After what he's said and written and the way he's behaved since marrying that whore, I'm just disappointed that any remaining title hasn't been removed. But then again, I guess it doesn't really matter because most of the world knows what he is like. They won't be heartbroken. They will just feel heartless and humiliated. In any case, they were never at Frogmore, and the children, if they existed, were never brought along on H's rare trips to the UK. It is said they were there for the Queen's late Jubilee, but there is said to be no record of them on the flight roster, and there were no booster seats on the Sussex travel vehicle. Harry and Meghan want to stay in a castle. Let's all remember what Meghan wanted her to get. The Queen cancelled that. The King offered Harry his room, but he refused, and it would be protected. Harry and Meghan always play the victim. Harry and Meghan will go through a 6-month rotation, which is unheard of when they have more frogs. So why reserve a spot? The King had every right to send them away, especially after slamming the family in his book for money. Charles simply followed the late Queen's maxim regarding the Harkles family. You're in or you're out. Can't have it both ways. I am glad that the King did that and did not yield to your threat. Whether he saw them or not, they would always know he was the King of England. It was a harsh decision, but after he cheerfully declared he was on a free flight out of England, I honestly can't blame RF for asking for the keys back. Don't anyone try to convince us that the kids have been in the UK since they left in 2020. We all know that Archie hasn't been back since he left, and Betty hasn't returned either. There now. Howie is just trying to blackmail the King by using his children as bait, because we all know that Charles loves his grandchildren whom he sees all the time. I'm sure King Charles wants to know Archie and Betty, but he won't bow to blackmail. Harry is truly a dirty blackmailer with no self-respect or morals. The time has come for him to be completely cut off from the royal family. All the titles, privileges, and favors he once enjoyed should be mercilessly eliminated. We cannot let such a person continue to tarnish the reputation and image of the British royal family. He should be told to keep his distance. The royal family does not need to endure any more deception, betrayal, or blackmail on Harry's part. Okay, I feel this topic is very good and there are many issues to discuss. Don't forget to comment below to let me know your opinion. Support our channel by clicking like and subscribing to the channel to watch more interesting videos. Thank you and goodbye.